Hi, welcome back, you beautiful souls. Okay, so this episode is going to be part 4 to my series, my Naruto series called What If Kenichi from the Mightiest Disciples Adopted Naruto? And I highly suggest that you go back if you haven't seen part 0 to go back and watch the series from the beginning, because if you started at part 1, you will miss out on it quite a bit. Also, fair warning, in this video there are going to be a couple of choice words, simply because of in the moment it makes sense why certain words would be said. But generally speaking, I don't like doing swear words in my what ifs, simply because I try to be as family friendly as I can be with them, excluding certain topics. Like, my what ifs are geared more towards to older teens slash young adults, simply because of how certain aspects of the what if will accomplish. And a perfect example of this is my villain deku, which, reminder on that, I just remembered I have that scheduled for a special at the end of this month. That being said, let's get into our story. The title of this episode is The Academy Life. That being said, our story starts with a little bit of an explanation. So, Naruto's academy days do not change much outside of a few certain events. And the reason why I'm not going to cover too much on this is because not really a lot changes. Even though Hana is going to be in their classes, Hana is going to be more of a driving force for everyone else in the class to get stronger. And the fact that Naruto has been living with this person for 5 years now, and for the past 3 years, she's really improved, which naturally, Naruto really being that big brother type to her is always trying to get better and better and better. Either once he found out his chakra nature, he's been experimenting with it. He doesn't really have he has really good control over his chakra, but he has an issue with releasing because of certain things that will, in later episodes, that will become more clear. So before anyone gets down in the comment sections like, oh, Naruto wouldn't be able to do this because of this, you've got to mind you, at the point of this, he has been training with Kenichi and Miu for 7+ years through in martial arts and also meditation. That being said, back to our story. So basically, his academy life is, he still gets bullied because he still has like a hard time doing like the jutsus because of other issues that are going on with him. So he's always being compared to his little sister and being called a worthless meathead, because Naruto is he's a little bit taller than he is in canon because he's had better nutrition. So he also has some muscle on him. So people just think he's like a meathead, and that's why he doesn't grasp at things. But that's contrary to belief because of other stuff that will become more apparent. So we cut to a scene a few weeks. So where we last left off, it was the first day, and he rescued Hinata, like in canon, albeit a little bit more enthusiastically and more confidently. And this did catch Hinata's like eye, and the fact that the fact that she sees like Hana there, and how she is compared to Naruto makes her see more of a semblance in her, in the fact that Naruto never gives up and that he's always training, will kind of push her and attract her more to Naruto than what she was in canon. So a few weeks after they had started their academy life, Naruto hears rumors about he hears about about what happened to Sasuke's family. So over these several years, he's always going to try to get Sasuke to train with them, and Sasuke's always going to be yelling at him. It's like, I don't want to hang up. I don't need any help from any losers. So basically, it's like, yo, Sasuke, train with us today? Would say Naruto, and then Sasuke's like, I have no time for weaklings. And so this would keep the whole time that they're in the academy, every day, pretty much every day, Naruto is trying to talk to Sasuke, and girls in him bully him and says you don't deserve to be hanging out with Sasuke. The boys are like, dude, why don't you just leave the guy alone? So now we'll do a time skip to about 6 months before they graduate. And this is when a few things happen that change the story in a lot of ways. So on Discord, I asked, should Hana be trained by Kakashi sooner in canon, sooner than later? And this is going to have started about a year before they graduate, because Kakashi was on some missions for the third Hokage about some special missions, top secret missions, basically Anbu related stuff. So one day, about 6 months before graduation, Naruto does his one thing, and he asks Sasuke, and Sasuke says, not today, weakling. And Naruto goes, come on, Sasuke, you can't always be by yourself. You know you'd get stronger if you trained with us, right? And this kind of snaps Sasuke a little bit. He says, you know what? I'm done playing nice with you. Stay the away from me. Also, the only reason why you're in here is because of that freak pointing over at Hana. This obviously makes Hana mad, and before she can really reply to this, everyone is surprised as Naruto just literally grabs Sasuke and throws him through through the wall to the outside of the building. And Naruto jumps out and lands next to Sasuke, and as Sasuke goes to throw a punch, Naruto grabs his arm and throws him down. And next time I'm not gonna let you off easy with just a damn broken arm. You can say whatever the hell you want about me, whatever the hell you want about my parents, but you will not, and no one will ever disrespect my little sister like that again. You want to know why they call me a monster? You want to know why? Everyone in this village seems to hate me. All of the adults and a lot of the older kids. And then, Naruto turns around and he sees, Hana's face. And he just goes... And he leans down, and people can just see Naruto's hands start to glow, because it's pretty clear he broke Sasuke's arm because everyone could hear a loud snap, like bones, like bone cracking kind of like snap. And Sasuke kind of like screaming out in pain. He leans down, so Naruto leans down and grabs like his shoulder, pops the shoulder back into place, and then his hands start like glowing, and Sasuke is like just sitting there like moving his hand, just kind of looking at Naruto in like a lot of fear and anger. And then Naruto like leans down and helps him up, and he's like, Sasuke, I'm sorry. I know what happened to your family. After school, meet with me. I owe you an apology, and I'll tell you why. So, a few of the teachers like come in and like pull the two apart, and Sasuke, like Naruto, begins to getting scolded, and he kind of just sits there and takes it. And Sasuke is just looking over at him because Naruto like very easily could get out of this, saying that Sasuke is the one that actually started it, but Naruto just like takes all the punishment. And he just sees like the look on Naruto's face. It's like ashamed that like he can kind of sense that Naruto really is like sorry, like he can kind of sense like the remorse in Naruto like when he's speaking, because he's kind of feeling kind of feeling bad about like what he said about Hana. Like, yeah, she's kind of annoying and seems like a know-it-all, but she did join the academy at 5, and normal people just don't do that. And he knows stories from like his brother. Like, he reminds him of like his brother a little bit, which is why he's a little agitated by it, because she's a freaking genius like her brother, and everyone's like praises her, but kind of like overlook him a little bit, but they still think he's like one of the top students in the class. Just not like in canon, where he is the top student of the year. So that's whole, and the fact that Naruto kept like pestering for years to like hang out, and he really didn't want anything to do with it. And all of this just kind of culminated in like just a final prick, like Naruto saying, it's like, man, if you want to get stronger, you can always train with us, right? It was kind of like the final prick in the fabled balloon. And all of these pent up emotions and some of like the rage that he harbors towards his brother was kind of put on to like what he said to Hana. So Kenichi and you are informed about this because Naruto has to stay after classes to like help fix like the hole in the freaking wall that he made, and so is Sasuke, because one of this like Hana, like in her big mouth, kind of says, yeah, well, maybe the brat wouldn't have been hurt if he didn't talk crap about our family in front of my brother, and also what he said to me was pretty mean. And Naruto just, like, when she said this, just kind of looked at her and kind of face palmed. She's like, Hana, just shut up. So, during the time, like, them, like, helping fix the wall, it takes them several hours because, like, in a ninja village, it was just, like, a minor hole. Like, basically, like, the window got completely destroyed, so they just kind of had to cut out certain, like, remove portions of the framing of the window and basically replace the window. So it would only take a couple of hours, especially with like an adult there kind of like guiding them through it. So afterwards, when like they're leaving, Sasuke kind of looks at Naruto, and Naruto looks at Sasuke, and Naruto's the first one to speak up. He's like, Sasuke, I'm sorry for what I did and for what I said. I know you've been going through a lot, and well, I don't know exactly how it feels to lose a parent. Like, you probably didn't know this about me, but I was adopted when I was 3. And well, my parents died shortly after I was born. And well, just seeing how you turned out, it just kind of started making me think over the years, like, and it just kind of blew up, you know. And Sasuke's taken aback by this a little bit, and he's just kind of nods, and then he says, "Yeah, I'm sorry for what I said too. I have a goal in life is to become stronger than my brother, so one day I can avenge my family." And Naruto like gets wide-eyed by this, and he's like, "Wait, your brother is the one that did that?" And Sasuke gets a little angry by this, but then he sees like Naruto's face, and it's not a look of pity. It's not a look of like Gaga, like other people. It's really a look of respect for him. And Sasuke says, "Yeah, my brother killed our family, and well, that's my goal, is to one day take him out." And then he says, "I'm sorry, Naruto, but I can't really be deterred from getting stronger than him. After all, he was kind of like your sister, and that's kind of why I blew up on her." And Naruto goes, "Yeah, I kind of get angry at her too. She can be such a pain sometimes. Oh, like, she's too damn smart, and every single time I like turn my back to her, she just gets exponentially stronger than me, and it's so frustrating." And this kind of makes Sasuke kind of smile a little bit. And then Sasuke asks, like, "So how do you know what I'm going through?" And Naruto's like, "Well, I'm not sure, but I've heard a few things, and I'm not entirely sure they're true, but honestly, I could care less what the village thinks of me. But I am going to become Hokage one day, and then everybody in the village will have to accept me. But for now, my family, they mean the world to me. Like, Mom, Dad, they didn't have to take me in, especially with Mom being pregnant with Hana. They were taking on like a lot of responsibility when they took me in. And honestly, I wouldn't trade anything for the world for them. You know?" And Sasuke sees like tears kind of forming in Naruto's eyes when he's saying this. And Sasuke is a little... He has a newfound respect for Naruto. Like, they're not chubby friends. Like, they are in canon. Like, they're not really friends, but even in canon, like, towards the end of, like, the academy years, Sasuke started developing, like, a respect for Naruto that he's always trying to improve, like him. Like, he can... Like, he sees that Naruto, like, in canon, I believe he sees Naruto isn't that good, but he kind of sees what Hinata sees. Like, he has seen how the village treats him, but Naruto is always, like, pushing forward and moving forward to his goal. He thinks, like, in canon, he thinks Naruto's a little, dense. not dense. Dense isn't the best word. It's hold on one moment, I've got to pause this. Yeah, it's like dense and innocent at the same time, or kind of full of himself a little bit, but he does develop that small, like, albeit very small amount of respect for Naruto. And that would be kind of carrying over in this. Because regardless of how people have treated Naruto, he's always been like the first one to like help the teachers out. He's always been the first one to like say to volunteer for like cleaning duties of like the classroom and stuff like that. So yeah, Naruto gets bullied and he's still kind of dense, but he's a really nice guy, and I would say he doesn't get as bullied much, but when he does, it involves like him being compared to his sister, like I said earlier. So that being said, when Naruto gets home that day, he just feel like as soon as he walks through, he goes, crap, and he just hears Naruto. Naruto! And he's like, yes, Mom! And he walks into the kitchen, and Miyu's like, and Hana's sitting there kind of grinning a little bit, and Miyu just kind of smacks her back of the head a little bit, just a little nudge saying, like, chill out. He looks at his mom, and he's like, yes, I know, Mom. I shouldn't use my abilities to hurt people around me unless it's absolutely necessary. Or until I start going on missions. I shouldn't be hurting the people of the Leaf Village. I get that. It's just what he said about Hana. I just couldn't let that slide. And Miyu gives him a smile, and she says, you know you're going to have increased chores because of this. And Naruto says, yeah, and I'm probably going to have rougher training too, right? and Miyu and like the three of them kind of start laughing. So the day progresses, and Kenichi gets home after dealing with a few things in the village and seeing a few people. Because, yeah, he just had a meeting with the school officials, and he's upset, but from what he's gathered from like his teachers and everything, he's proud of his son sticking up for his little sister. Kind of makes him think of like his younger days. How he wished he had the power to like stick up for his kid sister and not just become like the punching bag that he was when he was a kid. Though when he gets home, he puts on a face in front of Miyu, kind of like scolding Naruto a little bit in time. He's like, you're gonna be doing you gotta do an extra 100 push-ups, you gotta do an extra 200 push-ups, an extra 3-mile run, like on top of your normal exercises. And Naruto goes like, but Dad, I barely get everything done as it is. And then he says, well, maybe you should have thought about that before you hurt one of your classmates that way. And it wasn't in a sparring. You acted out of anger. And this is when Kenichi calms down. He's like, but besides that, if you learn how to control your anger and your emotions, you'll definitely accomplish your goals of becoming the Hokage, right? That's what you're always going on about, that you want to be the Hokage of the Leaf Village. And this kind of makes Naruto smile, and he's like, fine, Dad, I accept my punishment, and I apologize. And Kenichi's like, I'm not the one you should be apologizing to. And this is when Naruto says, yeah, I've already talked to Sasuke. well, we reconciled and we understand each other better now. So months pass, and over like the next few months, like Naruto really starts noticing that, because beforehand, like, him and Hana don't hang out all the time like they were kids. Like, they do have like their own friends, because like I said in the last part, Naruto would develop that sort of friendship that he does with Shikamaru and Choji from the Inoshiki like Aki team, is how I remember those three. But he does develop that sort of friendship with the two, because they are considered kind of like the problem children. Because, yeah, Naruto is nice and he always volunteers, but he's always playing like pranks on like people, but not really getting caught by the kids. But the teachers do see this and scold him for it. And a few of them, it's pretty obvious who did it. So over the next like 6 months, Naruto notices that Hana's like not been around as much as usual. And like towards the end of the academy, this is with involving the shadow, like the scroll of sealing. That whole thing still happens because Naruto is thinking, he's like, crap, she's going to pass me, and I still haven't mastered, like, clone jutsu. But something that the reason why he hasn't been able to do it is because he's unintentionally been, like, putting chakra into the clones, which they come out, like, malformed because he's not doing it properly. Like, basically, it would be like someone attempting to do the Shadow Clone Jutsu without knowing anything about the Shadow Clone Jutsu outside of basic, like, summoning jutsu for like, clones. And that's why Naruto has been having, like, a hard time with this. Even though he has, like, good control over his chakra. So the whole thing with Miyotsu, he, like, whatever his fucking name is, because, like, pardon my language, but honestly, he really doesn't play, like, a part in this at all. Like, yeah, like, later he'll escape from prison and all that crap, but it's honestly a very minor thing in the grand scheme of things. Just putting that out there. So I honestly don't know the guy's name. Like, feel free to say it in the comments below. But I honestly, when sitting down writing this, I didn't really care to, like, memorize the person's name, because it doesn't really play that big of a role outside of the scroll of sealing. So Naruto kind of being able to sense what's in someone's heart and being a better judge of character knows something's up with this, but he's like, damn, but if my sister, she's going to pass me up. Well, maybe. So he does end up stealing the scroll, and everybody's in chaos. The Kage calls in Kenichi Miyu, and a little birdie has been kind of like following her brother, because like she noticed that he had been acting weird that day, so she kind of been following him without him noticing, because she's been learning a few things from Kakashi. Like, no, she won't learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu from Kakashi. She'll actually learn it along with Naruto, which, I'm not 100% clear on it, but I'm fairly certain Kakashi knew it before Naruto showed it, because he was able to use it on the bridge against Sabusa, and even before that without using his Sharingan on Naruto when he was doing it. So I'm fairly certain Kakashi knew about the technique beforehand. So that being said, back to her story. So as Naruto gets away from the village to a very secluded area, because he's like, crap, if I'm gonna do this, Dad and Mom are gonna be extremely pissed off, and out of everyone, they're probably gonna be the ones that find me. So as Naruto begins to like practice on this, he's beginning, like Hana's kind of been watching him, and when Naruto finally gets it, like his first shadow clone, this is when she pops out and she's like, oh my god, bro, that's amazing! But you know Dad and Mom's gonna be mad. Well, if you're gonna get in trouble, we both are gonna get in trouble. So she kind of runs over and Naruto's like, Hana, no, leave! You're gonna ruin my plans. Dude asked me to take this. I'm kind of doing this to kind of lure him out, and I'm gonna stop him. And then she kind of looks up at her big brother, and she's like, well, wouldn't a second set of hands, like, be better? And Naruto, like, grimaces, and he's like, ugh, yeah. And just like in Kanon, their teacher hears about this, and he knows Yambu are going out to kill him. Like, they're basically on a headhunt, because not only did the demon demon child like betray the trust that they had like actually started to give him, but he stole from the leaf and he left the village itself. So they're thinking, like in canon, he's stolen the scroll of sealings and he's betrayed the leaf. But his teacher knows that's definitely far from the truth. And Naruto begins to, like, him and Hana begin to, like, read over the scroll. And after a few minutes of kind of practicing it, Hana gets it and she's able to do one shadow clone. And albeit she puts a good portion of her chakra into it. And then after Naruto sees her, like, doing this, like a couple of times, like he kind of gets it a lot sooner, so he begins to like practicing it and like really going at it. But Hana's more, she's like, well, we already read this, so she begins to looking at a few other things, and she notices like a particular symbol that she's seen appear on her brother's stomach when they've sparred a couple of times. And no, Naruto is not going to get QB chakra like this early on, but there are a few things, and I will get into that in a couple of minutes. So, and some of you can probably already guess what has happened, specifically a few that I've talked to Discord trying to plan this out. So she takes notice of this, and then she goes back to like practicing shadow clone jutsu with her brother, and it goes a lot easier because Hana's there and she's more analytical and quite frankly like a hell of a lot smarter than Naruto, simply because of her freaking high IQ. And as they're practicing, like, Naruto explains his plan, and like Hana's like, yeah, but you should have talked to an adult about it. You should have let them know about it. But then Naruto's been like, yeah, but then I wouldn't have been able to graduate. So the whole, the actual traitor comes to, and he starts mocking, like he imitates, one moment, this is actually bothering me. Iruka Sensei, like, my apologies, I kind of crammed a bunch of episodes to like really gather some material for that. So Iruka Sensei has like the same encounters with his old friend, like in canon, and his friend emulates Naruto. And Naruto begins to go like hand the scroll over, but then he grins as Hana comes out of the like a few Hanas and a few Hanas come out of the bushes, kind of kicking him back, and the shadow clone disappears before Iruka Sensei gets there. And the guy begins to like go off and everything on Naruto, like trying like about to go say what he is, as Iruka's getting there, and he's surprised about what Naruto says at this point. Naruto goes, "Oh, you mean the rumors about the demon fox being sealed in me were true?" And this makes Hana go like, "Wait, what?" Because she's heard the rumors, but she's like, "Nah, not possible." But after what she saw in the scroll, combined with what's being said, and then the guy is like, huh, "So you knew?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, but you've betrayed the village. I just stole this, and I had full intentions of returning it." And, and this is what Iruka Sensei tells the two kids to like, "Get out of here! Take the scroll and get out of here! I'll stop him." And Naruto begins to go to protest, but then Iruka Sensei tells him, he's like, "Naruto, you've been my student for a while, and, well, you need to get out of here right now." And Iruka says, Aren't you supposed to be her big brother? You're supposed to be keeping her out of danger? Be the damn big brother you're supposed to be." And at this, Naruto does like flee, but after Hana promises that she'll leave, Naruto like makes his way back and sees like Iruka Sensei about to like be seriously hurt. At this, Naruto jumps in and kicks the dude back, kind of like pushing him back a little bit. And then he says, "Iruka Sensei, you failed me earlier, but I'm about to show you something that will blow your mind." And as Naruto begins to make the hand gestures, Iruka Sensei's like, "No, he didn't." And Naruto does the shadow clone jutsu. And unlike in canon, I have talked to a few people and they're saying because he has more control, he would do more. But I'm actually going to say he does less, but he pumps more chakra into them so that they're more durable. So I'm going to say he summons half of them. And he summons half of what he does in canon, basically doubling the amount of chakra that each clone had. And before Naruto goes in for like a finishing blow with like all of his clones and everything, after knocking him up and like kind of bloating him, like he says, "I surrender." And Naruto like begins to like breathe as he goes, as all of his clones disappear, and the dirt bag is bloodied and bruised. And at this time, a few Anbu ninjas and Kenichi, like Naruto sees, like before he passes out, and Iruka Sensei's like armed, because Naruto did use quite a bit of chakra in this, like more so than what he normally would have, because he's doing other stuff. So one of Naruto's last thoughts before he goes is like, "Crap, Dad's here." Few minutes pass and he wakes up, and Kenichi is standing there, and so is Iruka Sensei. And Kenichi's not happy at all. And Naruto goes, I know, Dad, I'm in a lot of trouble. But then he looks at Iruka Sensei and he's like, I will talk to you in the morning, young man. Don't get home later than you need to be. Iruka, make sure he comes straight home. And Iruka kind of gulps a little bit because Kenichi's letting off a little bit more bloodlust than he normally would. And Naruto's like just kind of standing there a little bit petrified. And as Kenichi jumps away, Naruto turns to Iruka Sensei, and Iruka has like a smile on his face. And he tells, just like in canon, he tells Naruto to close his eyes. And then he tells him to open up, and then Naruto's like, he's feeling, and then he's looking at Iruka Sensei, and he's like, does this mean I pass? And Naruto, like, Iruka says, yeah, like, you definitely are getting level. No doubt about that. Before you blew up today, I was gonna tell you you failed, but because of your taijutsu skills, you're still going to pass the academy. As he kind of like punches, like kind of like smacks like Naruto in the back of the head, and Naruto like kind of chuckles at this. And it's like, so you have accepted. And Eureka says, yeah, I learned about your past completely, like how you've treated by most of the village, and the reason why you've acted out in the past. And well, it's kind of reminding me of my childhood. I know I've been hard on you, Naruto, but it's only because I've seen the promise inside of you. So, your taijutsu skills. And, well, it seems like you kind of figured it out. I was going to mention this to you about someone. As Iruka kind of looks off into the trees, kind of grinning at someone. I was going to introduce you to him, but you'll find that you'll meet this person sooner or later. And so, that being said, Naruto gets home and he's greeted by his mom, and Miyu like kind of grabs him and holds him, and she's like, babe, are you hurt? Are you like, do you have any cuts? Do you have any bruises? I can heal that up real quick. And Naruto goes, I'm okay, Mom, and I'm sorry. And then he catches eyes with Kenichi, and he goes, and I guess I'm grounded, right, Dad? And Kenichi says, yes. But first, tomorrow morning, we're going to celebrate. And Naruto's looking a little puzzled by this. And this is when Kenichi says, yeah, you did a stupid thing, Naruto, and you're definitely going to be grounded by it, but both you and your sister passed. And if you weren't such a knucklehead, which I'm pretty sure your teachers already told you, but if you weren't such an airhead and you weren't so stubborn, you probably would have stayed behind and he would have been able to explain it to you. Naruto kind of laughs a little bit and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. So the next morning they go out and they, like, Kenichi and Miyu ask them, like, what do you guys want for like a celebration? And both Naruto and Hana kind of look at each other and they both say in unison, everything on Ichirama menu! And Kenichi and Miyu just kind of go, oh my god, these two just like ramen too damn much. Mio's more like, but it's not that nutritious. And Naruto's like, but Mom, this is probably going to be the last time for a while I'm going to be able to, like, eat there. Because, like, and Kenichi says, you two can't have everything that will give you stomach aches like your mother's sake and will mess up your insides. And then we'll have to go through that toxin extraction again. And this is when both, like, a chill goes down, like, Naruto's spine a little bit. And he's like, okay. Maybe just a quarter of their menu? Naruto says shyly, and this is when Kenny says no. And this is when he says, fine, then 10 balls? And he kind of looks at Kenichi and Kenichi says, fine, but you're still grounded. You won't be able to go out, and your training is going to be intensified. Naruto smiles and goes, fine, Dad, I get it. I've really messed up. So that is where I'm actually going to leave this part off. Thank you, beautiful souls, for all of the help over Discord with, like, lore and everything. And I'm sorry these past 4 episodes have been kind of dry compared to other Naruto what ifs that other people may have done. But I feel with this series, I can really take some time to really develop, like, a family dynamic in the interpersonal relationships between all the characters. That being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you, beautiful souls, in the next video.